Friends, lovers, and all the others, welcome to another episode of Pod from the Bunker. My name is Kev. All of my socials should be popping up right below me, right somewhere down here. If you're watching on Twitch right now, thank you for being here. Thank you to Porkroll Bob's community. If you don't know, we are interviewing Porkroll Bob, who is another Twitch musician who is a fantastic multi-instrumentalist. He plays all the instruments, makes all of the sounds, has some sweet guitar solos. It's got the blues in his blood, I would say. And we're going to ask him a few more questions about how his journey went in music. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the like and the subscribe. If you want to comment any questions that I didn't ask to Bob, you can comment them below in the video. And once we have him back on again, we will ask the questions that are in the comments. If you are also watching on YouTube, all the information for Bob is in the links below. And if you're watching in the chat here, if you use command guests in Twitch, you will get all of Bob's links. So everything should be there for you guys. If you're watching on YouTube, you can watch us on Twitch. It's Kev from the Bunker. And if you're watching on if you're watching on Twitch, it's at Kev D Foster on YouTube for the recorded interviews. But right now, let's bring in Porkroll Bob, another Twitch musician, and let's see how he got here and where he's going. What is up, my dude? How are you today?
Yo, what's going on, Kev?
Always cool.
Thank you so much for having me, bro.
Thanks for being here. You're always cool as a cucumber, but I guess you're always cool as a pork roll, I guess we could say.
Yeah, right.
Talk to me about your name. How did that how did the name come about?
I streamed under my actual name for some time, but then I changed it up. And Porkroll is, for people who don't know, it's something from New Jersey, and it's kind of like a breakfast meat that is somewhere between like smoked ham and bacon kind of vibe. It's delicious. But the main thing is that it's a Jersey thing. It's from New Jersey, and so it's kind of almost like saying New Jersey Bob or something like that. Almost.
I see.
And and I honestly just came up with the name one day driving home, and it just made me laugh.
It's great.
So I was just like, this is such a ridiculous name. And so, I just kind of sat on it, and I said, hey, what do you think to a few people? And they all laughed when I told them the name, like every single person. I was like, okay, I like this. It's got good vibes. So, I just went with it. You know what I mean?
Amazing, dude. I met Bob through Twitch. I think I rated you or you rated me at that's usually the way it goes. But I was blown away by your talents, dude. Tell me, what is your relationship with music? What is your relationship with music? Talk to me about that. Describe that for me.
Yeah, I mean, music is a very significant portion of my life. I mean, I'm lucky enough that it's my job. I teach and I perform music. That's all I've ever done for employment. And I went to college for music education. And I started playing the guitar when I was like 9 or so. And I took lessons on the guitar every week from when I was 9 to when I was like 23 or something. And I started teaching the guitar and other instruments when I was about 14 or so. And by the time I was 18, I was going to college full time and paying for it with my guitar lessons and stuff. So, I'm super lucky in the fact that I've never had to, ask someone if they want fries with that. Or is that super gas or regular, sir? I'm super lucky. It's just in guitar and music and performing whole time.
That's amazing, dude. Yeah. So
that's awesome, man.
Would you consider yourself successful then? I mean, you sound like you do.
I mean, I suppose, I mean, it's always a relative term. I mean, I'm happy with the way things are for sure, and I'm able to feed myself, keep a roof over my head, and do this wonderful thing. Yeah, I love the fact that I get to do something that I enjoy, but it's something that enriches the lives of other people also. I just love that aspect of it. I've always been the type, like, like I think my mom told me a story. It's just like when I was in first grade or something, like I was the kid who would come up and like, pull the chair out for the teacher, be like, here, if you want to sit down, like I was like, I like to help people, you know what I mean? And like music is a way to do that. It helps me, it's cheaper than therapy, well, all with all this stuff, I don't know, but it's something that helps me, it helps others. Where could you go wrong?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I was going to ask you why you play music next, but I think you answered that for us right there. When do you think the first time you got the bug was? Like, when did you know that like that was it for music? Like, what was your first real itch? Or did you ever try to leave music and then failed? You're like, oh, I can't live without this sort of thing. Is there a story of that for you, Bob?
No, I've never even thought about not doing music. That would be absurd. I can't imagine that. My whole mental health, I would be living under a bridge or something. Like I would just man. Like I need it. Like
when did you first realize that? When did you first realize that you actually need music?
I don't know when I first realized that like I needed it, but I again heard stories from my folks when I was a kid that like for example, the one I don't remember, the other I do, is that my dad would tell me like when Jimi Hendrix was on the TV. Like they'd throw something on and they'd be watching it. So my dad's a huge Hendrix fan. And Jimi Hendrix is the reason I started to play the guitar. He's number one, at least in that way. And so, I'd be rolling around on the floor or whatever, doing infant stuff, and like screaming and crying and stuff. And he would put that on and I would just be like, huh?
So before you could even remember, it sounds like you were affected by it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would just be transfixed, they said. I would stop, hemming and hawing and all this, and I would just sit quietly and stare intently at the TV. And I do remember my dad. Now, a lot of these albums, well, actually all of these albums that you see back here are my father's. He gave them to me. And he's still got a lot left, so don't worry. But we were in the basement, and he had like a really sick sound system, a great pool table, a whole setup down there. And I distinctly remember me being on like the chair, and my dad getting real close. It's like, okay, Bobby, can you say Jimmy? And be like, Jimmy. He's like, can you say Hendrix about Wenwix, or something, you know what I mean? Like a little tiny kid. And like, I remember that. I remember that happening, like he was training me from an early age. So, I both blame and thank, both of my parents for that. I kind of got like the screaming electric guitar stuff from my dad, and I kind of got like the more singer-songwriter stuff from like my mom.
Right.
Like, it's kind of like the two sides there.
Did your parents play music or just influence you with music? Did you play along with the Jimi Hendrix? Sorry, I might have missed that, but.
No, yeah. So strangely, I'm the only one in my family who plays. Actually, I take that back. When I was younger, I have a younger brother. He's younger by 2 years, and he is fantastic at anything that he sets his mind to. Okay. And over the course of the years, I showed him some open chords and stuff, and still to this day, he's my favorite person to play with.
Yeah.
I'll go over his house, and he's got a life and a lot going on, and he doesn't take the guitar out of the case unless I show up. I'm like, all right, bro, let's play.
Dust it off.
And that's it's fun, man.
That's amazing, dude. Yeah, and I know singing with your brother must be amazing. That sibling harmony is just out of this world, no?
Yeah, man. No, it's just awesome to be able to share the thing that I love the most with one of the people on this planet that I love the most.
Amazing,
it's just a joyful thing. We could sit there and be hitting on pots and pans and howling. Like, I don't care, bro. Like, it's the fact that I'm here with him and we're having some fun. You know what I mean?
True.
Like,
So, what type of gigs do you play in the real world, Bob? Do you play cover gigs mostly, or do you play originals, or do you play a combination of both? What's that look like for you?
yeah, so I mean, largely I do solo shows with a looper, and they're largely, just cover gigs because, quite frankly, I'm trying to pay the rent, and it's quite rare that people will pay you to hear your originals. I mean, it does happen, but largely, yeah, it's just like covers and stuff like that, and I do that a lot, but I also play, like the bars, the restaurants, the weddings, and the events and stuff. But I play solo at assisted living homes also.
Amazing.
And I get a lot of joy out of that. It is just, oh man, like I've been like brought to tears like several times, and there are still several memories that I have that I really hold very close to me. If I'm having like a tough day or something like that, I even have some like mementos, like notes that people have written me and stuff, like even on my fridge right now. But my passion project is my blues band. There's something about just playing the friggin' blues that is just wonderful.
Well,
man.
it is the backbone of most music, dude. Every rock and roll, country song, Americana is all based off the blues, man. And most Bob Dylan songwriter songs are as well. So, I mean, you're kind of really diving into the core of what music is there. Does your blues band do all originals, or is it a jam band? How's that work out?
It's a combo. So I have 6 or 7 originals that will play out every show, typically. But then, we play obscure blues songs. So it's like, you're playing somewhere blues is already pretty obscure, but now I'm taking it to another level. And like the kind of signature of that band is that there are like 6 or 7 different feels that you could have, like in like a standard like blues. Like you could do the shuffle, you could do a swing, you could have like a rumba, like a Latin thing, you could have just straight ahead like Chuck Berry rock and roll, which I lump in there. And then various other kind of vibes, and then we'll cycle through those in the course of the evening. I don't ever write set lists or anything,
right?
But what I do use to like guide it is like, okay, we just played a shuffle, let's play a funk now. After that, we'll play a fast like rockabilly swinging thing, and then we'll swing. So just the cycle through all the feels, because I'm not a huge fan of going out and seeing like a blues act and song 1 is and song 2 is it's the same thing in a different key. It's just like, bro, that's the same song, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's cool, man. I appreciate that, because I do the cover thing too, but when I see a cover band that's getting the feel right for the song, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And when I see it wrong, I'm like, that is not how the song really goes at all. Dude, what inspires you to write songs? You said you have 6 or 7 originals. I'd like to get into that part of your brain a little bit. What kind of inspires you to write them? Is it old blues songs that you've heard before? Is it stories? Is it real life? Talk to me.
So yeah, I kind of have a few compartments. So I have a lot of like singer songwriter type stuff, and what I would do with that stuff is that I try to write in every style. Like
Okay.
I use that partly as
Experiment, sort of.
inspiration.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have like the finger picky stuff, but then I have like just like the straight ahead pop stuff, and then I have like the jazzier stuff, and I have the funkier stuff, and then I have like the more moody, like
Right.
swamp music or
Right.
so I just like to think like, oh man, I haven't written one like that, and then I kind of try to formulate like a plan of attack for that. And then the 6 or 7 originals that I referenced earlier are specifically
For blues.
written for my blues act.
Right.
And
Okay. So
they cycle through those feels that we mentioned earlier.
how many songs do you think you have in your catalog that are completed that you play out? Is it like where are we at?
No, I'd say it's probably like 40 or
Right on.
so.
Good
Somewhere
catalog.
around there.
How many unfinished songs do you
Something
think you have?
Oh, jeez, bro. I don't know. A lot more than that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
Charlie
sure you're the
Acorn was
same
on.
way.
Charlie Acorn was on a few weeks ago, and he's like cavernous. That's all he said. I said, "How many?" He's like
cavernous.
cavernous. I was like, "Okay, that's a good answer."
Yeah, bro.
So,
Ain't that the truth?
what first song did you want to play for us today, Bob? I'd love to have you do a performance. You want to introduce the song a
Yeah,
little bit for
sure.
us? What's the first song you're going to play for us?
Sure. So I'm going to play. I was thinking for this, I'll stick to the bluesier stuff.
Whatever you want, man.
And I was going to play a couple from that sort of approach. And so I'll play the namesake of the band. So the name of the band is Bob Denson's Blues. So there's an apostrophe S there, right? I wanted to be cheeky, wanted to be a little different, but
Play on words.
everywhere that I would go, people would introduce the band wrong. Like, and coming up next, the Bob Denson, blues band, or the Bob Denson Blues Experience, or something like that. And so I wanted to write a song that was kind of, in part it exemplifies the vibe.
Okay.
But also it reminds people of what the name of the project is.
Excellent.
And so the name of the song came first in this instance, and it's called Whose Blues Is It?
Whose blues?
And the
is
answer
it?
is yeah, and the answer is the name of the band.
Awesome.
Bob Denson's Blues.
Awesome.
So that was the idea. So it's kind of part advertisement, part like just sticking it in the audience's head, like that's the name, kind of thing.
Brilliant marketing
So,
is what it
but-
is, sir.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hand you over to the full screen, and you get yourself ready there, and take it away, my man.
So usually this is with a whole band, but today I'll loop it. Well, suiting up, baby, for Saturday night, checking out your style, get it looking right. Go tripping down those streets in a fast brigade, standing in the shadows of the downtown promenade, just singing, whose blues is it? Whose blues is it? Yeah. Singing, whose blues is it? Oh, baby, Bob Danson's blues, man. Whose blues is it? Yeah. 'Cause it's a good time, rock and roll, funky blues and soul. Singing, whose blues is it? Yeah. Cell phone while it car keys and a big fat grin, knowing full well all the trouble I've been getting in. The barman knows my name, babe, so come here and join the crowd. Your body gets the grooving, girl, you know there ain't no stopping us now. Singing, whose blues is it? Whose blues is it, yeah? Whose blues is it? Tell 'em, man, oh, babe, about dancing's blues, man. Whose blues is it, yeah? It's good time rock and roll, funky blues and soul singing. Whose blues is it? Oh, baby, Bob dancing's blues. Another screaming at your guitar. I'm sweating, man, I'm standing. Ain't no room at the bar. Give me something good, yo, girl, could you hit me just like this? Bring it back just one more time, man, you know that I can't resist. Singing, whose blues is it? Whose blues is it? Whose blues is it? Oh, baby, dancing's blues, man. Whose blues is it? Yeah. This is a good time rock and roll, funky blues and soul singing. Whose blues is it? Yeah, we'll bring it back just one more time, man. Whose blues is it? Whose blues is it? I'm singing. Whose blues is it? Oh, baby, rock dances blues, man. Whose blues is it? Yeah. This is a good time rock and roll, funky blues and soul singing. Whose blues is it? Yeah, we'll bring it back just one more time, man. It's a good time rock and roll, funky blues and soul singing. Whose blues is it?
My dude, tremendous.
Yeah.
That's a jam.
Thanks, man.
Dude, I love the way you go into your solos with a little bit of, you make everyone turn their head with the big bends and stuff and the little stops and the like. You're a great performer, dude. Tremendous.
Thanks, man.
Awesome stuff. So you said before you've never really had a job, and that's awesome. I luckily have not had a job. I mean, you know what I mean? You've been able to bring in most of your income from music.
Yeah.
How do you kind of balance being an artist and making original music and also, making money? I mean, doing the cover thing. There's a balance there. What's your balance on that? How do you find that?
Well, I mean, I teach a lot, and that's like the main thing as far as like employment, and keeping, the fridge full and the lights on. And then like it's I like on the side basically I play out, and when I found Twitch, the short version of that is I streamed on Twitch for like 6 or 8 months in like 2017, and then it got to the point where I was working all day teaching, and then I would play like 15 or 20 shows a month every weekend. 4 or 5 shows or something, and it was just way too much to try to stream in the evenings during the week and do that. It was just way too much. So I stopped, streaming, even though I really enjoyed it. I just didn't have the time. And then, when the pandemic hit, I fired it back up, and it's to the point where it's catching to a certain extent, and I love the community here on Twitch. It is ridiculously awesome. Mm-hmm. For those of you watching on YouTube, y'all need to come and check it out. Listen,
I would agree.
The people Yeah, man. The people on Twitch are just awesome. And for me, I would like to stop doing as many of these what I've heard termed like just a wallpaper
Yeah,
gig.
wallpaper gigs
Where you're
for
just
sure.
some guy in the corner, you know what I'm saying? And they pay the bills and everything, but I would much rather stream because it's so much more fun. I get to hang out with people whose company I really enjoy. And like I'll put it this way, like I've literally never streamed and then at the end of it felt worse like after I'm done.
Okay, true.
Never once.
Right.
But I have played many a gig where it's 2:30 in the morning and it's an hour and a half away, and I'm packing up my stuff, and I'm like, "Why do I do this?" What I'm saying? Like, what the hell, bro? What?
Yeah.
And so yeah, man. Like, if I could swing it, I would stop doing all that stuff. I would still play, with my passion project, my blues band.
Yeah.
And I would still play at like the assisted living homes and stuff like that because it's really quite special. But all those just the type of
Yeah,
shows
I've done the
about,
same sort of thing, but what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to do both, but I'm trying to take my gigging down. So I'm only playing at places that I never leave upset. So it's the same thing as the stream, right? So I can stream, never leave upset, but also play gigs that, do okay for me. And I know that like I'm not going to want to freaking lose my mind on the drive home. And I'm trying, and I'm like getting all breweries with no televisions, and I'm trying to be done by 9, 10, 11, the latest. None of this after midnight stuff. So once I find that, groove, I think but I'm in the same boat as you, man, where I'd like to stream. It's not quite, like you said, it catches on here and there, but it's not quite all the way to help me not gig anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And when it is, that would be amazing. But right now, I'm just trying to find that balance, which is crazy.
Yeah, dude. No, that is my dream. That really is. Like, is to just get to that spot. That would be so cool.
Well, no drunk people asking you to do requests, and you never have to carry gig. You never carry gear in and out of a gig ever again. No cable touching. Like, it's
right.
just,
as I like to say, you can't beat the commute, right? I just got to go into my studio here.
Yeah, exactly, man. Funny you said that earlier. There's a couple things we have in common. I just want to mention all those records behind me there, which actually, Porkroll, you can't see right now, but you know them. The ones hanging on my wall, they're actually my grandfather's and my dad's.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. They're actually
really? Those are all from your dad? Nice, bro.
Yeah, dad and grandpa. There's some old Johnny Cash, and there's some Neil Young and the Cars, and a couple great records up there. But they were in a barn for a long time, so they don't really play anymore. So they're kind of decor and memorabilia. And the other thing you were saying is assisted living. So actually, just before the pandemic started, I had just started doing that too. I was into a few different places doing them every month. And man, what a fulfilling gig that is. That's when you leave.
Gosh.
That's the one you leave. You feel appreciated and you feel like you did something better for the day,
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a great combo of things. Again, you're out there, you're visibly making a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
You're improving their day, and there's no question. You can just see it, know, and then you're able to keep the lights on. You know what I mean? Like, it's great.
It's a great 2-for-1. That's the balance that we need to find, right? That's the one.
Exactly.
Okay, dude. So tell me, if you were able to go on tour with 2 artists, one dead and one alive, I would like you to just take your time. You don't have to just blurt out anything, but you get to pick one dead and one alive that you get to go on tour with. I have a very strong feeling that Jimmy might be one of them, but go ahead.
Yeah, right. Well, so the question is now, am I like the opening act and they're like the headliner, or am I playing like in their band?
It's your world,
like,
Bob. Bob, it's your world. You make up what you'd like right now. The question is what it is. You go ahead. You go ahead and live in your world right now, and just go ahead, dream. Dream as big as you'd like.
Oh God, dude. I
hope you say Tupac.
That's a great question. That's a super hard question, though. Wow.
Take your time.
I mean, I mean, yeah, I would have to say for sure Jimi Hendrix, just because I mean, just dude, it's Jimi Hendrix.
That's your
Like,
one
you
dead.
see what? Yeah, that's my one dead, and so my one alive.
Are you playing in Jimmy's band, or are you
Bro, I
opening?
mean, no, you don't need me at all.
Well, I
Nobody
mean,
else needs to be playing the guitar in Jimi Hendrix's band. That's
so is that the
no.
blues band opening up then? Is that the dream there?
I guess so. I
Yeah, man.
guess I would be opening up. Yeah,
Well, I
for
mean,
sure. Lord knows I ain't headlining, right?
well, you know that
But
movie
like,
yesterday about the Beatles where everybody forgot about the Beatles and that one guy used all the songs. So let's just say
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
everyone
yeah, yeah.
forgot about Jimmy and you were the big thing and he had to open for you. That could also be the situation.
Right, right. Well, and a thought that I've entertained and people have told me that this is that, like, if I was doing my thing in like the late '60s or the '70s, like everything would be way different.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was
Oh,
an
yeah.
era where the style that I play was, way more popular.
Yeah,
You know
right
what I
now
mean?
hip hop is the number
Yeah.
one, and hip hop and pop are number one,
yeah.
right? And then you're going to country, and then you're going to electronic, and then you're going to like maybe alternative rock at that point. But like rock is very, and blues is, the core of that. It's very niche, man. What you do.
Yeah, and so the alive, man.
Should just be Taylor
Bro.
Swift.
Yeah, right. A little bit of Tay Tay. Hey, Tay Tay. I mean, I love like the people who I'm into right now who are like on the scene would be like I love. I've seen Wolfpack a few times.
Oh
They're
yeah,
dope.
fire.
I saw them at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, you
that day,
did? I
like,
saw that show online.
Yeah, I was there. That was insane. But like I love Mark Rubier.
Oh, yep.
He's like a looper who improvises outrageous stuff. And I love Jacob Collier. Those are kind of like the three people who are like alive and like in their prime.
Are you
know what
asking
I
me
mean?
for more wishes? Is that what you're doing here? Because
I'm just thinking out loud, man. I'm thinking out
just
loud.
kidding.
Okay,
Okay, so we got it down to 3. Let's get it down to 1.
parsing it through. All right, if I had to go on tour with somebody alive, I think that if I went on tour with Mark Rubier, considering that I use the exact same looper
Right.
as this guy, and I think that we would put on like together some pretty awesome shows.
That would be
honestly.
vibey for sure. Absolutely. Okay,
You
now the
know,
next question is,
because I play the guitar, he plays, like I
Yeah.
think we complement each
trade
other.
off. Hell yeah. So now
You know.
with each of these acts, you get to pick your dream venue to play with them. So if with Jimmy and the Blues Band, what's your dream venue? And with Mark and the Looper, what's your dream venue?
I mean, I'm from Jersey, so obviously, you have to say Madison Square Garden because that's the spot.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the spot around here. Something like that. But that's like huge, boomy area. And then, and you know what? Yeah, it does. I'm just thinking of all these other like I love Tom Waits, I love Jonathan Colton. There's all these other acts. I don't know, but I will leave it where it was.
Yeah.
And then as far as another venue. I mean, like, it would be fun to do something like a bit smaller, like Brooklyn Bowl.
Yeah.
Again, these are areas that are right by me.
Right.
And so that's like more of like a club vibe. It still seats, I think like a couple of thousand or something.
Right.
It's so, but it's got it's a whole other feel to the room.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now you want the stadium versus the club this is why I asked the question is because there's also the theater as well, which is kind of my dream. My dream is the soft seat venue where I sit on a stool with a spotlight and a bottle of wine and I play you songs and tell you stories. That's kind of my dream. But again, there's all these other venues and ways to go about it. And so, yeah, I think you nailed it with kind of have the club vibe with the Looper and Mark. And then you could do the whole stadium tour with Jimmy. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Dude, just that's like, okay, I'm gonna need 5 amps, and you're gonna need to turn them all the way up, and then I'm just gonna go like, like this for like 20 minutes, and
Hell
just go,
yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Just stand in front of a wall of amps, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, just losing it.
Can I pick the genre of your next original, or can I pick a feel for you and say, can you play me something that's a little more singer songwriting for me, or is that too much to ask? You can play whatever you want, but I would love.
I was gonna keep it with like the more bluesy,
Let's do that.
rockin' stuff.
Hell yeah, let's do that then. Introduce the next one for us.
I was kind of going back and forth with it, but I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to choose, but
It's all you, my friend. Whatever you decide. I just thought I'd like to hear something. But you do you. Whatever you'd like. Tell us about the next tune. Why, where, and when.
All right. So this is a song that it came from a conversation that I had with my longtime collaborator and bassist. Angelo is his name, and we're both the type of people who overschedule our lives and work 7 days a week,
Right.
continuously.
Yeah.
And we were talking on the phone, and he was saying, he's like, man, you got so many irons in the fire, you're about to burn up, bro. Like, geez, like, you need to chill. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, wrote that down, because that's a good line. I just kind of picked that one out of the convo, and there's a bit of a musical joke in the song. It's got nothing to do with the lyrics, but it's got to do with the subject matter, like I just said, and the music. And you know what? I'll flip it, and I won't reveal it until after. Maybe you could notice what happens. Maybe. So let's see. Let's see what happens.
Let me put you on full.
I'm gonna set this up real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on full screen, dude. You take your time and get your stuff ready, and the stage is yours.
Sweet. See here. So yeah, this one is called "Irons in the Fire." Listen what your baby said. She said, ooh, I think you're doing too much. Yeah, you got so many irons in the fire, you're about to burn up. I got places to be, people to face. Come on, girl, show me the meaning of haste. I said, ooh, I think you're doing too much. Yeah, you got so many irons in the fire, you're about to burn up. Yeah. Come on, baby, I gotta run. I got places to be, things to get done. Oh. Come on, woman, I gotta ride. You know the way I do it, ain't never satisfied. Good luck trying to get me walking down the street. Ain't no moss growing under my feet. I said, ooh, I think you're doing too much. Yeah, you got so many irons in the fire, you're about to burn up. Oh, burn, Bobby! satisfied. Good luck trying to get me walking down the street. Ain't no moss growing under my feet. I said, ooh, I think you're doing too much. Yeah, you got so many irons in the fire, you're about to burn up. You got so many irons in the fire, you're about to burn up. Oh, you're doing too much, man, too much, too much.
Bro, you are ripping on that guitar. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Sounds so great. I love it, dude. Thank you so much for the performance, dude. I have only a couple more questions for you before we wrap up. What do you think?
So real quick, real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick though. What was the thing? Did you notice anything bizarre about it? Because there is a musical joke in that, kind of. So
I wish I was listening
to
I wish I was listening to every lyric, but tell us now. Reveal it.
Well, so it's got nothing to do with the words.
Okay.
So what it is, so it's a song about overscheduling your life and just being like, you know, you're running from thing to thing. You don't have time for anything. You're doing this and that. And so when I was writing the hook, you got so many irons in the fire, you're about to burn up. It ended up that it was an 11.5 bar blues.
Oh.
It wasn't a 12 bar blues.
Okay.
So even
Cutting
I
it
didn't
short.
have time to do the whole 12.
Yeah.
So
Okay, cool.
That's kind of the joke. Yeah. So and when I play it with the band, it's through the whole song, but because this looper does not like when you do 11 and
yeah. Of course.
So
Of course.
when I was soloing and stuff, I couldn't. But yeah, live it is the whole way
Very cool, man.
through. So just a little joke. Just a little joke.
That's cool. Well, you're technical enough because
Anyway.
you teach, right? So you're technical enough to know, you know, what you're doing with timings and with, you know, all that stuff. Oh, that's cool, man. I don't know a single thing about any of that. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, dude, I love music theory. Huge music theory nerd, bro. I love that stuff.
Oh, dude. Oh, we could chat for another one then about all that stuff. How about gear? Are you a gear junkie too?
Nah, not as much, honestly.
Okay.
Nah.
You just like the right in the amp?
What's that?
For the blues, it's just straight into the amp, turn it up to get a little bit of bite, and that's
what I tend to do is like here in this example here, like I don't have an amp at all.
Right,
this
of course.
is just going into
Modeler.
my standard stuff. Well, no modelers, no anything. I have an octaver to get the low notes.
Okay, so it's a pedal board
it goes
there.
away. Yeah, it goes away as you get higher.
Cool.
But I have I've used the same exact fuzz distortion since I was 15 years old, man. I use an Ibanez tube screamer.
Oh yeah, the
one.
tube's
That's
classic.
it.
Classic.
That's it, bro.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it. You know, I went and I bought a couple other ones and I tried them out. I was like, dude, I just like this. I like this. And my go-to is I have one set for like, this is like the rhythm setting. It's just got like some, you know, and
just a
then
little bite.
the second one, because I have two. The second one, you know, it switches from to, and that's
Right on.
all the way cranked, and it's got some extra volume in it also.
Right on.
And so that's for the solos, and that's kind of it. And then live with the blues band, if I'm gonna go crazy, I will have two delay pedals. Also, one for like a slap back, like a real quick kind of thing, and then the other for like this kind of you know, just to when you want things to be crazy,
Right.
You know, out
Of course.
there. But like that's kind of it, man.
Keep it simple, yeah, man. No, you don't. Everyone has a different rig. That's why you watch Premier Guitar and like they go through people's rigs, and some guys just have like 3 pedals. Some guys go right into the amp with like some sort of modeler. Everyone does it different, man. But that's cool. My last question, I guess, for you, just to kind of sort of round this out, is like, what do you think? You know, a final goal would be to make you happy in music. What would be the you know, what's the final goal, Bob? Is the question.
Well, so there's kind of two answers to that. There's the more philosophical answer, and then there's the practical
Okay.
answer.
You can
right?
give me both.
So, yeah. So, in a world, well, the main thing for me, for music, is this. If I have trouble with anything in this world, it's being present in this moment right here, right
Dude,
now.
I have to stop you. This
And
is the exact same thing that is my problem. You and I are dude. When I sit on that stool and play there, nothing else matters, dude. You're just so consumed. And I didn't mean to cut you off,
Yeah.
but I want to say one more thing about that. Scientifically, they say that music actually wraps up in multiple parts of your brain at once and consumes them so that you can't be trailing off and doing other crazy thoughts and crazy stuff. So that's very interesting you said that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So what is the final goal? Yes.
So I would argue that I can still be thinking about, man, I got to do the dishes when I get home. While I'm mid solo,
Right.
or something like that. And it's a curse. I hate it, man.
Right.
I'm very ADHD. I'm the type of person that I have like 3, 4, 5 different thought processes all fighting for the foreground in my mind at
Yeah.
any given moment, and it's ridiculous.
The random access memory is all eaten up, eh?
Oh, bro, yeah. And so one of the reasons that I like to play the blues in particular is that it doesn't happen every song, it doesn't happen every solo, but there are, if I'm lucky, 1 or 2 moments each night that are fleeting little short moments where truly everything else fades away.
Right.
Nothing else is there.
You're just feeling music.
This reality just folds back and there's nothing else. My dad's phrase for this is, it's pretty dramatic, but is you're touching the face of God.
It can feel that way.
And it basically is. It's like, I'm at peace. I am a conduit. I am doing the thing that I was put on this earth to do.
Flow state.
And that's play blues guitar, God damn it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, good.
That's and I get that when I am most of the time, there are times when I'm doing like singer songwriter, like particularly like the slow sad ones will get me there.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But when I'm in the middle of that solo and it's just cooking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like it.
You're just
There's
feeling it.
nothing
It's like an electric,
Yeah.
you're a prod at that moment, right? Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's not even me. I'm not even thinking. I'm not even it's just I am what I'm doing in that moment. I'm not thinking
You're
about
just
anything
being.
else.
Yeah.
And that is wonderful, man, because like I said, it is ridiculous, how many times I'll be halfway through Wagon Wheel or something and I'll just be like, I locked the apartment door before I left, right? Or like like you're just thinking about like ridiculous, and you're not here, you're not now.
Right.
And reaching that moment. And again, it only happens, it's so fleeting. It's like you touch it and it's gone.
Right.
Like the second you realize that you're doing it,
You
now
fall
you're
out
out
of
of
it.
it
Yeah.
because you're thinking that
Yeah.
because you're noticing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a fleeting thing, and that is like the most beautiful thing that I've almost ever experienced. And that's what I'm chasing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if I could extend that somehow, that would be the ultimate thing that
True.
I'm chasing.
That's a crazy good answer, dude. And what's the practical one?
Well, the practical one is just simply to be able to just perform music for a living, to be able to, be financially stable enough to
course.
just do that. And I've had this crazy idea for a while now that I would love to just forego on this place, get I don't know if it's an RV or if it's a camper or if it's a nice van or something, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Shove my gear into it and then, get a bike and a fishing pole and a couple other things like this. And I love to travel.
Okay.
And so if I have that and I have an internet connection, I could just travel around the country
Streaming
and I
playing.
could just stream on Twitch.
Yeah, man.
I could teach my private lessons on Zoom and all this.
Yep.
And then I could just travel around and I could like set up things where I meet people in my community, which I would really love to do. And just, like, it also helps that I'm single, right? Don't have to convince
Of course.
somebody,
Yeah.
and just like, I'm not saying forever, but like, take some time and just go out and be free.
Yeah,
be
man.
free, be able to go hike or bike or explore all the day.
It sounds like
Go
both
on,
answers are freedom for
lessons.
you. It sounds like both
Say what?
answers are freedom. The final boss goal is to have freedom with music and freedom to move and travel and freedom to have a moment of peace. All of that stuff just seems like you're searching for that moment of freedom and quiet. And I really love that, man. And it's
Absolutely.
It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today, dude. And I would love to have you on again and learn a little bit more about you. And what we're trying to do is when we have our guests on for the second time, we're going to let them interview me. So when you come on next time,
nice.
So when you come on next time, you're going to be able to go ahead and ask me a series of questions that you would like and control the whole situation here, so that.
Man.
I have to get better at giving up control. I started this podcast so that I could learn to listen a little better, and I'm also a one-man band and I do everything by myself. So I think if I could just give up a little bit of control and let you take control of the show, maybe next time around that would be fun. No.
Sure, bro, dude, I'm down, and I'm just in case I didn't say it before, I think I did, but I am a huge fan of what you do, man. I love your show, your streams and stuff, bro. You kill it, man.
Well, thank you very much, dude.
Yeah, bro, big fan. And again, thank you so much for having me here. And I'm not sure, I don't have like the chat in front of me or anything. I don't know who's there.
No, all your people are here, my man.
Love to anybody who's out there. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting Kev. Drop him a follow, do all that good stuff. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Come on, it's free, man.
Oh, you're the best, dude. Look at you, just doing the promo for me. I don't even need to do the closing bit now. I was gonna let him go and do the closing bit. We're just crush that. But I am gonna let you go, my dude. I do have another interview coming up today, and I'm going to hit the ending screen or the exit screen for me to do all of the things that you just did for me with the delay, though. I don't even have the delay, so
oh, bro, I love this thing.
That's
it's
amazing.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, good fun. So thank you to everyone in chat for hanging out. Porkroll Bob, I'll let you go. If you're watching on YouTube, it's Porkroll Bob. Everyone, his name is right on the screen beneath him. And dude, thank you so much for doing this, and I'll talk to you very soon, brother. Can't wait to catch another stream of yours.
Yeah, man, likewise.
Take care of yourself, dude.
Thanks again, Kev.
Okay, take care. Holy moly, we did it, everyone. Another one in the books, and another one bites the dust, and another one does, and another one does, another one bites the dust. If you're watching on Twitch right now, thank you guys very much for coming over. Especially if you're in Porkroll Bob's community, you guys are the best. Way to support him. I appreciate all of you, every one of you who are here watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. It would be super awesome if you did that. You can comment if you have any questions for Bob about his process, about lessons, or if you need any information. I'm going to put links below in the description there. If you're watching on Twitch, go hit the sub on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, come watch on Twitch, because Twitch, like Bob said, is a wonderful community of people. You can't ask for anything better. And it's just been an absolute pleasure of a time to have Bob on the show today. So one more time, all the socials for me are right below here. Twitch, YouTube, all the rest of it. I appreciate you guys for hanging out and watching today, and I'm going to hit the ending screen. We're going to go rate another musician, so hang out in chat. If you're here with us on Twitch, hang with us for a second. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much, and there'll be another video out next week for all of you lovely folks. Until then, keep it between the mustard and the mayonnaise.